News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain.
Tonight on News 46, an update with Nye County Tax Assessor Shirley Matson and Attorney Nancy Lord.
Town Manager Bill Kohbarger speaks out about his contract renewal.
And United Health Group informs seniors about their health care options.
News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Vern Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Thursday, May 12th, 2011. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Janet Eric for News 46. Topping our news tonight, a single vehicle accident last night luckily resulted in no injuries.
Nye County Sheriff's deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived at a single vehicle accident last night around 9 p.m. on Malibou and Dandelion. Somehow, the female and only occupant driver of this vehicle ran the stop sign and ended up in this field right behind some homes. Nye County Sheriff's deputies called a tow truck to remove the vehicle from the empty lot. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue checked out the occupant on scene and found no injuries were sustained during this accident. Deputies reported that drugs or alcohol did not play a part in this accident. The woman had just simply ran the stop sign. Nye County Sheriff's Department is investigating this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Malibou and Dandelion for News 4.
Nye County Tax Assessor Shirley Matson and her attorney Nancy Lord speak to us about the legal papers that they have served certain entities regarding Ms. Matson's reprimand by the Nye County Commissioners and alleged emails that were made public, they say, have been altered.
Well, we've sent our 41336 letter to the Pahrump Valley Times. This is a letter that's required under Nevada law precatory to filing a defamation suit. You have 3 months to do it, and they have 30 days to retract the false statements. And we very specifically indicated the falsities in the latest series of reports in the Times about Ms. Matson. First and most seriously was the email several days before she took office. This was a doctored email. I explained this to Mr. Harris sitting right at my kitchen table. Ms. Matson remembers it very clearly. It was a forward. It had been a letter sent out in a colloquy with Frank Smith about Nevada elections. It was a long list of people, including me. And 6 of those people have looked for it and can't find it. It's a very simple thing to forward an email and change what's in it. All you said to Frank was it was very short, something like, what is this about, or something. What did you say to Frank in that?
Well, I can't really remember because it was
very quick.
The only thing that I remember is Donna said it had something to do with when Jan Brewer was doing something in Arizona, and with her immigration bill that she signed. Well, she signed that in April of 2010, so it was sometime before that.
It has something to do with Nevada fraud.
Oh, maybe.
And it said Nevada voter fraud, and you said something to Frank about this is silly.
This is BS.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah, something like that, a one-liner, and it went to the whole CCSC list, and they went and forwarded and stuck this other content into it. Mm-hmm. Now, interestingly enough, while the PVT is saying we had no proof it was doctored, the county commissioners didn't mention that email on March 25th when they brought Ms. Matson in for the hearing. They didn't mention that one. Only the perfectly legitimate email that was sent to only fellow government county employees, Sheriff DeMayo and Rick Osborne, asking if anyone had checked the immigration status of the workers on the jail site. That's all. Not only was it her right to send that email, it was her duty. She is protected by the whistleblower statute and several other statutes. But if you get suspicious of something, a crime being broken, a crime being in progress, as a county official, the assessor had the right to, the obligation to say something. She wasn't asking the sheriff to violate their Fourth Amendment rights by walking up to them and saying, "Show me your papers."
Yeah.
All the assessor wanted was for someone to call the contractor and say, "Are these guys legal?"
We'll have more with that interview on tomorrow night's newscast, and you can see an extended version of this interview on our website at KPVM.TV after tomorrow night.
Now in other news, with the contract of the manager, Bill Kohbarger, being extended and renewed for an additional year. There's just a few minor changes. We speak to Mr. Kohbarger to find out how the town board and he are getting along and his hope for the future of Pahrump.
Yeah, the town board voted 3-2 the other night to give me a year contract.
So what was the original contract that you were hired on?
It's a 3-year contract.
And so was there any change in the agreement this time?
Yeah, there's a few changes, small changes in my mind.
Mm-hmm. So tell me a little bit about what's going on. What do you hope to do in the next year?
I'll bring business to Pahrump. That's one of our main goals, is to try and get jobs into Pahrump. We're jointly with the county and bringing economic development into Pahrump.
I know Nevada Highway Patrolman Scott Coble was talking about some of your connections that you have within the state that are super vital.
Yeah, I've been in the state for 12 years now, and I've got a lot of connections, a really strong networking system throughout the state. Reaches all the way to Carson City, to the northeast part of Nevada, and all the way to the southeast part of Nevada.
I know that there was some heated arguments that were going on at the town board meeting. We saw some of that last night. What was that about?
Just citizens expressing their viewpoints and trying to win what they thought was a battle. My opinion on it, we're all adults. We need to stop acting like children, and I think Mr. Calkins said it best. We need to put the petty differences aside and work as a team. And
you guys are getting along better now, aren't you? Harley Calkin and you.
You know, I never did not get along with Mr. Calkin. A lot of people said stuff, and at times Harley and I didn't agree. That's life. And he was very vocal, and now he's on this side of the table. He sees that it's like, wow, it's not much different than when it was on that side of the table, but he's getting a lot more information. And he asked a question. It was funny the other day. He goes, "How come we didn't get this information when I was on that side of the table?" And I said, "Because you didn't ask, I guess. I don't know, but it was out there because it was all in the backup." The backup is what the town board goes on. And if they have questions on the town backup, then they come in and ask staff. If I don't have the answer, I send them to Michael Sullivan or Scott Lewis or Matt Lewis, one of the department heads, Terry Boswick.
So now that Harley Calkin is now part of the town board, before he is very opinionated on some of his views, but he sometimes misdirected. He's getting a lot more information. Do you think that some of the citizens that show up and read some of the backup are having a good understanding about what is allowed and not allowed and where funds can go to and not go to, or are they misguided sometimes?
I don't know about being misguided. The information is out there. We have always put it in the backup. And if you have a question, come to the town office, we'll answer it. And not only will we answer, but we'll try and give you documentation to back it up. And Harley is still opinionated, and he's still the same person he was when he got elected. He's just channeling it a little better, because he knows sitting up there, he has to be professional, and he is.
You do spend a lot of time at the town office answering the public's questions.
Yes, ma'am, I do. My office door is always open, and if I'm not in a meeting, I will be glad to bring the citizen in and sit down and talk to him.
How is your relationship going now with the rest of the town board?
To my knowledge, it's going pretty good. Mrs. Darby made a comment the other day on the email blogs that her husband didn't vote against me, he voted against the contract. And Mr. Darby didn't like the contract, but Mr. Darby and I will continue working well together.
And tell me, what are some of the things that you're hearing mostly from the public?
Congratulations. I haven't got any negative. I've got nothing but positive, handshakes, hugs. Hey, let's do some stuff over the next 12 months. The chamber called today and said, let's get together, let's really attack this issue that's out there. Let's, take the chamber and the town to the next step, and I think it's great.
I hear that on the next town board agenda that there's some items that are going to be brought up about bringing a new business here in town.
It's not really a new business. It's a new venture for the town. It's the development of the 426 acre park project, and it'll be in the infant stage, and we're going to lay it out, and we'll see what the town board says.
And coming up here on KPVM, we speak to another contestant in the Miss Senior Golden Years pageant.
And the Pahrump Town cleanup was a great success.
Well, this and more after this break. Keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain.
Vice President of Communications for United Health Group, who is speaking on behalf of Senior Dimensions and Health Plan of Nevada, spoke to Vern Van Winkle today to answer some questions and concerns that have been coming up since the change of coverage with Healthcare Partners of Nevada.
So for our Senior Dimensions members in the area, they have continued coverage through the end of the year. They don't need to do anything. If they have questions, they can turn over the card and call us, and we'll help them through with any specific questions. But in addition to the Senior Dimensions program, every year CMS, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, holds an open enrollment period from October 15th through the end of the year for enrollment period 2012. So right now, seniors don't have to do anything at all if they're with Senior Dimensions. They can stay with their program and their physician, and during the open enrollment period, they can look and see what the benefits are for 2012.
Do you feel canceling coverage because of a business decision is acceptable answer to patients losing their doctors?
Well, in the community here, we're talking about 10 physicians that have made a different business decision and have affiliated with another entity. And we have since expanded and contracted more than 10 new physicians in the community and are looking at how we pace benefits and costs for 2012. So our thinking was to give folks as much time as possible to make a decision if they needed to prior to open enrollment. And again, they don't have to do anything now, but if they'd like to, we're willing to assist them in doing that. So it really is a business decision made by some local physicians that's changed the dynamic to some degree.
All right. Is continuing of care important? If so, why not extend the date as a courtesy to seniors so that they may avoid the gap in coverage?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So continuity of care is established both with federal guidelines with this program and state guidelines. So again, if call the number on the back of your card, and we'll walk through those with you. But if you're in cancer treatment, for example, or third trimester of pregnancy, or transplant situations, you don't need to worry about this. There will be provisions made. And again, the program, Senior Dimensions, is everything we do is approved and sanctioned by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. And they are very mindful of anybody that might be in a period where they need continued care and access to their physician due to a health situation. And those are protected under the regulations of this program. So it's a good question. If members have a question, they should call in and say, I'm seeing my doctor for the end of the year for cancer treatment, for example, and provisions will be made.
More on tomorrow's newscast with United Health Group. For the extended interview, go to KPVM.TV after tomorrow night.
This past weekend was the 11th annual Pahrump Town Cleanup. Volunteers proudly signed up to pick up trash and make our town shine.
Right now we've got about somewhere between 60 and 100 people that are going around town at various locations, picking up trash, picking up old pieces of furniture and things like that, bringing them here, putting them in a dumpster. We've got dumpsters around, and Damon will tell us where we've got the dumpsters. And we were just saying we've got some folks over there that picked up behind Walmart. Yeah, the Valley Cruisers, and they picked up about 60 bags of trash behind Walmart.
Wonderful. Congratulations, the Valley Cruisers. Damon, Pahrump Valley Disposal has a lot of bins around town. Where are they at?
What we did this year is we tried to change it up and move them a little bit more down south, since the landfills. We had one last year at Blag and Mesquite. Well, with it being closed and being so close to landfill, we decided to move some down south, more down south. So we've got some still we have Gamebird and Homestead's been a normal location, and we've done that one. We did that one again this year, and then last year we tried Lakeside, right across from Lakeside, where Concordia Homes used to have an office trailer. And there's a nice little pad there, and that one was pretty big. So we put 2 boxes there, and already this year that was full already by 6:30 this morning. So, and then we tried one over on right by the PV Boulevard side from Ian Deutsch Park, and then at Basin and Blag we went right where the road's blocked off. There's a little section right there. So we're trying to hit more, like I said, the southern area for the folks. And then if you're, the ones close to the landfill, you might as well just go to the dump and,
George, we have a lot of people who are really enthusiastic about doing this town cleanup. Tell me why.
Okay, part of it has to do with the fact that people wander through the town and they look at the trash and stuff that blows around. And with this wind that we've got here, we get a lot of distribution of trash and stuff that people don't mean for it to be out on the streets and things, but it does happen. People have it sitting in their yards and stuff. And a lot of the people that are working with us say, hey, I'm going to clean up my portion, my section of the road. I'm going to clean up behind my house and things like that. And that's a big part of why we have such enthusiastic people that come out here. They start at 6:30 in the morning. When we came out here at 6:30, there were people out here ready to get out and get after it. And we had good support from a lot of people in the town too.
Well, today the volunteers are out picking up trash, and the Pahrump Valley Disposal has dumpsters placed around the community. And part of my job today is to run around and pick up these big dumpsters and take them up to the landfill, dump them, and return them so the citizens can clean up their yards and stuff. So it's a town cleanup day. We've got volunteers picking up trash on the streets. You'll see the orange bags. After 10 o'clock, we'll have some side loaders going around picking up the orange bags, but pretty much all day I'll be driving a truck picking up the roll-off bins.
And the Miss Senior Golden Years contestant, Sandy Stell, spoke to us about what she hopes to achieve if she's crowned on June 4th at the Saddle West.
My name is Sandy Stell. I've lived in Pahrump for 3 years. My platform will be grandparents raising grandchildren, parenting a second time around. I've met many grandparents in this community that are raising their grandchildren, and I happen to be one of those grandparents. And I think there's just a need to have a support group. It's not a group where we're going to be giving each other financial aid. It's going to be a group for just sharing information and just having some good adult socialization. Thank you.
The weather, I guess, is going to be a bit windy.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
And all this Pahrump town cleanup and everybody thinking about their yards, they need to think about covering their loads as well, don't they?
Yeah, that's one of the things that Damon Shea was talking about in that interview, as well as one of the big issues was people don't cover their loads on the way to the dump. And
it just scatters all the way off to the dump.
Exactly.
So remember that, everybody out there.
Exactly.
And our weather is next,
And
right?
we're going to go to Rick right after we come back from this break and find out all about the weather.
.46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Hey everyone, welcome back to News 46. I'm Rick Vale with your weather. We had a high of 90 degrees today. Sunny skies out there. Winds out of the south-southwest up to 8 miles per hour. Our pressure rising on the barometer, 30.09. Our UV index is 9, which is very high. Make sure you have some sunscreen on, a hat, something like that. And our sunrise is at 5:40 a.m. And the record high was 104 degrees back in 1996. Looking at tonight, looking at clear skies yet again, a low of 64 degrees. Winds out of the southeast up to 11 miles per hour. Sunset will be at 7:40 p.m. and our record low is 45 degrees back in 1963. Looking at tomorrow, a high of 90, a low of 60. It's going to be a hot one out there. Winds out of the south-southwest to 10 miles per hour, gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour. Our UV index for tomorrow is 8, which is very high. Again, sunscreen, hat, something like that. You will get burned out there. Sunrise will be at 5:39 a.m. All right, our 7-day forecast is looking very, very windy, and I am very, very sorry for you. Saturday, 62-mile-per-hour gusts. We've got wind advisories coming in. I am almost certain of it. 90 for the high, 58 for the overnight low. Sunday, 53-mile-per-hour gusts. 72 for the high, 48 for the low. Boy, it's a shame we got all that wind coming in because the temperature is going to be great on Sunday. Monday, looking at another great temperature, 71 degrees with gusts upwards of 37 miles per hour and an overnight low of 50. Tuesday, 36-mile-per-hour gusts expected, a high 78, getting a little bit hotter there, and a low of 55 for the overnight low. Wednesday, 45-mile-per-hour gusts. See, the winds are just crushing us all week long. A high of 81 and a low of 53. And Thursday, 35-mile-per-hour gusts with a high of 86 and a low of 52. And our worst weather in the nation today was Drain, Texas, for damaging thunderstorms. It just seems like all the worst weather these days is for just horrible rain. Kind of makes me happy to live out here in the desert.
Pahrump Valley High School's graduation is June 10th. Pre-order your graduation DVD for $25 each.
You can call KPVM at 727-9400, extension 209, to get those DVDs pre-ordered. McDonald is holding a McTeachers Night tonight. It's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. Besides senior teachers at work, you can also enter a raffle and win a kid's Happy Meal for a year and more. This event will benefit J.G. Johnson Elementary School.
Now, if you've missed any part of this newscast, you can watch it all again online at KPVM.TV tomorrow night or visit YouTube.
And that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Janet Arrett.
From everyone up here on the Hill, we wish you a wonderful evening. We'll see you here again tomorrow night.
Until then, good night, Pahrump.